Hello there, good morning, and welcome to the wonderful world of Facebook Live with me, Martin. I love you, Ci amo. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you're doing very, very well. Feeling really happy, energized, feeling good, ready for a new day. I've had an amazing morning of gratitude practice, sun gazing, some yoga, some breath work, and everything is feeling very good. And I'm out in the sunshine now. It's not too hot, so I think I'll get away with it this time with this phone. So I wanted to come on today and chat a little bit about an interesting topic about the past and about time in general. So as the title suggests, I've sort of questioned, is it possible to change the past? For some people that might seem quite strange, but let me just share briefly how I can get to that statement, and you can agree or disagree, and we can discuss. So ultimately, for me, reality is created by you. You create your own reality every moment. You make decisions, you have thoughts, you have actions, and that's what creates your reality, and that's your individual reality. And each person has their own, and each person creates what they want or what they don't want, consciously or unconsciously, but it is a creation. Everything that you see around you is a creation. Every other person or situation is actually a reflection of you. So time, when we look at time, when I say past, ultimately that the past or future don't exist other than thoughts in our mind. Linear time, as we see it, we're born, we have a life, and we die, is an experience that we have, but ultimately all there is an eternal moment of time. That's why they say living in the now is the most important thing, because that's all that we have. So everything exists here and now, all is one, but we give ourselves the experience of linear time so that we can experience growth, expansion, birth and death, and learning, and all of these things, so that we can have that experience. So the past, as I say, ultimately is not actually a reality anyway, but we have that experience of the past. We have this linear experience in three-dimensional reality in this world. So if we accept the fact that we can create our reality, or if you're open to that possibility, then we can also change the past, if that is the case, and we can also change the apparent future that will be coming. So how do we do that? Well, we do it all of the time, we just may not know about it. So if we think about things, if you think about something from your childhood or teenage years, or some years ago, maybe something happened that had a very strong effect on you at the time. Maybe something you were, let's say, embarrassed about, or maybe something that's like a breakup of a relationship, losing of a job, or something like that. At that time, the experience was a negative experience. Let's say the breakup of the relationship was very tough. You thought this was the love of your life, and then it broke up and it didn't work out. At that time, it was the worst thing in the world. Maybe now, when you experience that past event, maybe that was the best thing that ever happened, because when you broke up, you met the real love of your life, and it was just an experience. And at the time, it was terrible, but now your experience of that past event is different. It was a happy event. It was something that created a good change in my life. Maybe something like a bit less dramatic, or something you were really embarrassed about at a certain time, but now you're a bit older, now you actually laugh at it. At the time you were horrified that this certain thing happened, but you're horrified now, or at that time, but now you think back and you laugh at it. So because the past is not here, those things, they're only thoughts, so we have memories of those experiences, so they're not actually real here and now. But what you can change is your thoughts and experiences of that past event. And as I say, we do it automatically, we do it all of the time, but we can actually do it consciously. So when we change our experience, or our thoughts, or how we frame something that happened in the past, we're actually changing the past. Because you can't take it, even the most dramatic or dark or horrible experience from the past, it doesn't actually exist in this now. It's not here now. You can't re-experience it fully. You can't grab it. You can't reach out, but you can give yourself an experience of that when you carry on with the thoughts. If it's a negative thing, if you carry on that thought into now, carry on with that then you can give yourself the experience that is truly real, and I can experience that negative thing from the past now. So if you know that, and then you accept that that's a possibility, and if you see it in your life that things in your past that were once one thing are now a different thing, you've changed your past, because the only reality that you have now in this level of consciousness where we are is what we experience here and now. This is our reality. This is where our conscious attention is now. This is what we have control over. This is what we can actually do things with now. So what is the point of this? Is it just like an esoteric idea that I can change my past just by changing how I think about it and feel about it? I think it's a powerful thing, because so many people are trapped by their past. So many people have guilt and shame and worries and fears about things that have passed, which they have no control over the event that they experienced. But you do have conscious control. You have actual control of how you frame it, how you feel about it, how you talk about it. All of those things you can do in this now. And when you do that, you can transform that past. You can change that experience. How you experience that now is what your reality is, and what the others. And you have to suspend the belief in linear time to a certain degree of so that was an experience, so that was reality. You have to, what is reality now? Reality is here and now. It's only now, because all there ever is now. So if we had one of those events from your past that we talked about that may be negative, let's say we have a video recording of it, we could watch that video recording now and re-experience those old feelings, but we're still experiencing those feelings here and now. Even we watch a video of that, of a past event, that is still the experience is now. Experience is, we're watching it here and now, and you can choose how you experience that, how you think about it, how you talk about it, and then that's how you move and grow and move beyond what, and not be limited, and not be a victim of the past. And so I feel like it's a powerful tool to just the awareness that we have the ability to change that in any moment. And the more dramatic and bigger events, obviously it's going to take more work. It's not going to be just 1 second we're going to change our thoughts, but we can do it gradually, and we can do it step by step, and we can just reach for a slightly better feeling thought, or how could I frame this differently, or how could I look, or how could I understand if it's a person, how could I understand what was going on with that person at that time? Could I understand that? Is that a potential within me? Is there a potential within all of us for negative acts or those types of things? So can we get to a point of understanding, and then at least we can release the feeling of being a victim of a certain situation or a person. If we can get to that point, then we can go one step at a time and actually make it slightly more acceptable, slightly more positive, just going a step up at a time, and then gradually we are changing that past event, because our experience is of that is now, it's here, and so how we feel about it and talk about it is what we will experience now. And this goes for the future as well, because there is no difference. If we're constantly worrying about something in the future, what we're going to create is something more to worry about. If we're happy and balanced, and we're seeing good things in our future, we're talking about good things, we're putting ourselves in places where we can take action to create a better future, that's what we're going to experience. So it works both ways. About changing the future is we change it from the now, the same as we change it from the past. So if we're creating things in our now that are not the things that we prefer, if there's situations and people and places and our general life is not exactly where we want it to be, we make those changes here and now, and we start with how we think about what is happening now, how we speak about what's happening now, and then we start to take different actions to take us towards what we want. And just being honest with yourself and getting clear with what you want, and taking your power back, and realizing you're not a victim of outside circumstances, and that everyone is reflecting to you what's within you, then your power is with you, and you can change that reality. You can really play with it. You can have fun and start creating consciously. So I think there might have been a question if I go back, or a comment. James says, yes, I grew up in the most psychologically abusive household you can imagine. I am pretty desperate to get a hold of the law of attraction so I can create the world I desire, the life I desire. So I don't know if you're still on there, James. If you could just message and just say that you're still on there. I could talk about that, because I have friends and many people that we have worked with who have come from similar type ideas, similar type experiences from childhood. We've worked with many people, and I've experienced many people who have had very traumatic childhood experiences. And as I say, I'm not saying this is like a absolute like magic flick of the switch and everything changes in the past, but gradually, if we can start to come to an understanding of why things happen, come to an understanding of other people, of how those people acted in these certain ways. How did that happen? Was there something in their childhood that created something like that? Because that's when we're our most vulnerable and our most susceptible, and we take in everything from outside influences then. So if there are those things, if we can get to some form of understanding of why it would happen, again, with really negative or dark things, we never are looking to get to a point where we are condoning or supporting negative acts, but getting to a point where we can come to some form of understanding, and we can get to some form of forgiveness of ourselves firstly, because there's always a two-way, it's not always just a one-way street. But if we can get to some form of understanding, just take one step, okay, I can potentially understand that a person could like perpetrate a really negative act because that act was that they experienced that in their childhood, let's say, because that could be a common theme with that. So without condoning the act, or without saying this act was correct, or this is where I'm okay with this happening, we can get to a point of where we can actually understand to some degree. And as I say, it's a process. It's something we can get to some form of understanding that people act due to their environment, due to what they've been taught, due to what they've experienced in childhood generally. So in family situations or school situations, the things that we take on, those are the things that we learn. And generally, a lot of us, when we go into adulthood, we will recreate those things. So if there are things like that are traumatic, like James has said, it's getting to a point where you can reframe that situation, where it's just it's a perpetrator and a victim, and look at a wider scale where there's the potential that same person was recreating what had gone on with them. It's like, so you mentioned law of attraction. It's like energy attracts like energy. It's what you put out, you get back. So although obviously children are the most vulnerable and the most susceptible, and it seems like so unimaginable, the things that happen to children in our societies, and there's lots of it coming out now of what goes on. We have to get to a point to move beyond that. We have to get to a point to understand what has led to this situation, what circumstances, what environment, what socio-economic systems have led to that really difficult to deal with, difficult to face, difficult to even talk about situations with children and those sorts of things. We have to get to a point where we can have some form of understanding, again, without condoning, without saying that this is right in any way. It's to get to some form of understanding so that we can begin the healing process and start changing that past in our now experience, because this now experience, we can't change the physical experience of whatever that was, whatever it is, which is in the past, because it's gone now, because all you have is now, here and now. So you can start to do that in a step-by-step process and realize that you're creating what arises, and then really empowering yourself to change that and take take power and take charge of your experience and help others to do the same. And that's what we do. And I've done it with many situations in my past that I would have felt maybe guilty about, or fear about, or shame, or these things. But when I got to the point where I realized I can't change these things, I can't change the physical experience of that, but what I can change is my experience, or my thoughts, or my words, or my what is now, because otherwise I'm completely powerless. If I do anything other than that, if I'm thinking about this past event constantly, I will be constantly experienced. That will be my reality if I constantly think about it, because a thought is powerful. A thought can take me to that past event. I can experience the pain, I can experience shame, fear, doubts, worries, whatever it is. So the only thing that I have conscious control of is how my thoughts and words and actions are creating what is here and now, and that's where we take our power back. So wanted to share that briefly with you today. We're a bit later. I have to go get my breakfast. We're on retreat here again with another very beautiful man from my homeland, so I'm very happy to be doing that here now, and doing some amazing work and just enjoying life. So if it's food for thought for you guys, if there are things that's bothering you about your past, just look at it in that way, and look at how you can come to an understanding, look at a broader picture, and look at the environment that created that experience, and look at how you now can change that experience, change that thought, how you can change what the reality of that is for you now, step by step. As I say, it doesn't have to happen overnight, or it can, but with certain situations, obviously there's more emotion, there's more memories, more strong thoughts. So Marie says thank you for sharing. Thank you, Marie, thank you. I hope you're well. I hope I made sense there this morning. Sometimes I just kind of ramble on a little bit, but yeah, I hope that can help some people if they are feeling like they would like to change what is their experience now, and just take time with it, and really go easy on yourself, and know that it's a process. Everything is a process, and the journey is the process. So just enjoy it, and reach for better feeling thoughts, reach for things that make you feel good, doing the things that you love, and the environment will change around you. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining. I hope you're doing very well. Sending all my love and gratitude to you, and I hope if you want to share anything about your past and your present and future, you can let me know, and try these practices and see what happens. Try it for your own experience. So lots of love. I will see you all very, very soon. Bye bye.